Hello, PWA fans. Aaron Hurd here for another edition of Watch Along Wednesday. As you can see, this week we are featuring the Rocket, Josh Benson. We're going to show him in action from the PWA Arena on Halloween night, October the 31st, 2020. Now, Josh, we all saw you emerge as a top contender, especially as the year went on in 2020. And I would say this is one of the more crucial moments in that journey, one of the steps along that road that you took. So why don't you tell all the fans out there about the match that you've chosen to watch for us this week?
Well, thank you very much for those endearing words. I appreciate it. Happy New Year, by the way. 2020 was a weird year, to say the least, and it was no different for me, especially around here. Stuff going on with the committee. Me and Blade decided amongst ourselves, well, if we're not going to have any matches, let's go out and have some matches. Iron sharpens iron around here. But we all seen how that turned out. Not exactly the way that I had envisioned, and maybe not even the way that Blade had envisioned, but who knows? He has his own goals, his own methods around here. More power to him, but he's not getting one over on me, not at my expense around here.
Well, we are going to let everybody see for themselves where things may have gone off track from, as you said, what started as friendly, honest competition, trying to impress the championship committee into something entirely different. So fans, get ready for the Rocket Josh Benson against Bryan Blade on Watch Along Wednesday. All right, fans, ready to get things underway. Yeah, we are on the air here with Josh Benson. Now, this match, I'm not sure if you know this, Josh, but the fans have not seen this match bell to bell. We featured highlights of it on PWA Rush on YouTube, but this is the first time the fans are getting to see the match in its entirety. So that in and of itself makes this very special. But before we get started, I just want to say that it's somewhat coincidental that you picked this match featuring your opponent, Bryan Blade, because we just had him on, he was our last guest on here, and he brought up your name more than he did his opponent. He was talking about you and the issues between you guys, as opposed to the match that we were featuring. So I don't know if you want to address those issues now before the match starts, or if you have anything to say along those lines. Or
I mean, it really doesn't bug me too much. I've been listening to him for like probably a little over a year and a half.
Well,
I've listened to him too much, all right?
I understand. Well, I'm glad.
It's not necessarily a voice I want to hear all the time
I'm glad that
I'm scheduled to have a match tonight, and he isn't here. Well, I am here.
Tell you what, your mouth gets so dry whenever you're up there.
Yeah, it can be very nerve-wracking. But yeah, this is you here issuing a challenge.
So, Bryan Blade.
Do me a favor. Next time that I come out there and you hold a microphone in front of my hand, give me a bottle of water.
Didn't quite turn out the way that I wanted.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
But I still appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
See, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this was something that was impromptu, was not a scheduled moment.
Open challenge here from the Rocket, Josh Benson.
And
literally, I was supposed to have another match that night, and he didn't show up.
Yes,
okay.
I guess it was just kind of a code of honor between me and Blade. If one person doesn't have a match, the other person comes out, and we
I certainly
spar around a little bit.
For showing up at the building and finding out that your scheduled opponent wasn't there. Okay, just give me a match with somebody else. And Blade here to answer the challenge, and we've known about the dynamic that you two men share to this point. A sort of a mentor and trainer relationship, but
look at that snake coming right up there.
Put a lot of trust in him, and obviously, we're going to see it play out here. That was not reciprocated, but let's hear Blade's response.
Yeah, let's listen to him. Let's listen to him lie, Aaron.
What do you have to say to this young man?
Josh, if you want another shot, you got it.
Well, that wasn't a lie.
All right,
Gee whiz.
It's official.
No, he cut
honest for once.
well,
for the Rocket, Josh
I'm sorry. I got a little bit of aggression, hostility.
I can understand being a little bit agitated watching this match. It's one thing to be, I'm going to go back and watch this, but when you actually see it and the memories come back to you, I'm sure that, it's somewhat difficult. But nonetheless, I think that it will be good for you to see this in a certain way, so you can realize just what you did here in this match. That you have nothing to be ashamed of.
I watch all of my stuff back because I want to learn. I want to see what I'm doing and see what I'm doing wrong.
Well, this is a great opportunity for you to give the fans some perspective. If there's some things where here's where I should have done this or that, then feel free to chime in. But the lock up here, quickly into the side headlock. But you two men know each other well. Were you?
Honestly, what had just happened there, I think that Bryan was actually coming in because he was going to pick me up and slam me. I pulled the left arm over and wrapped it around. It was
he shoots you
shot
off.
there.
Shot to the bread basket.
Man, dude, that knee right to the face, man.
Yeah,
doesn't tickle.
No, I'm sure that anybody would be seeing stars after an impact like that. The snapmare starting to work on the neck. It looks like drives the knee between the shoulder blades. He's got a game plan. It seems like coming here trying to work on that body part.
That's exactly how Blade is. Anytime that he goes into a match with anybody, he's got a game plan. Whenever we were tag teaming, he always had a plan. He'd lay it right out. That's just who he is.
Big rolling neck snap there, but are you starting to feel like this is no ordinary sparring session, or?
It still feels pretty normal to me. Still feels very much like, that right there is, if he catches me with that.
Oh, no,
would have been lights out.
With the big crossbody there and only got a 2 count. As I said, the last edition we featured Bryan Blade, and fans saw him practically knock Joe Black's head into the 3rd row of the Fairfield County Fairgrounds. So we've seen how devastating that big lariat from the Sooner State can be to somebody. But you're laying in a couple of good shots of your own there. Whip the big man in. Full head of steam.
Tell you what, that shook the ring right there, but I guarantee you he felt that.
Across the other way, starting to get a little bit of momentum. Oh, but he
bails out. Oh, that was dumb on my hand right there.
Well, I imagine that it was, even if you did notice that, at that point it's hard to stop your momentum. It's hard to put on the brakes and adjust in midstream, I should say, mid-stride.
Yeah, my shoes had very little to no traction that night. I'm not sure what was going on there. But.
Well, sometimes, the mat, the guys perspire on the mat,
yeah, dude, it's
not.
It's a little damp.
Right.
It's a little damp around there.
It's something that fans don't necessarily notice or don't think of, about how the ropes hurt. Those are cables.
Yeah, they leave bruises on your back.
Those are elevator cables inside what amounts to a garden hose.
Yeah,
so
and they don't understand about the turnbuckles. There's just an eyelet screw that's behind those.
Right, those are not.
You hit those, you are feeling those in your spine.
They're not pillows.
No.
They're,
It's not a trampoline. Yeah. That's plywood under there. If you ever see the guts of a wrestling ring,
It's not what perhaps the novice fan might think, and that's why the fans respect pretty much everybody that gets into the ring here in the PWA, but especially you, as we said in our intro, you were really starting to get the support of the fans each time you came out here, and maybe Bryan Blade was starting to get a little jealous. I don't know. I don't want to tell tales out of school, talk about something that's none of my business.
No, I think you're not far from being on point there.
He goes back to the rolling neck snap. He's got you clamped. This looks like he's just literally.
This is a scenario where I absolutely have to get better, because whenever I was down there in that, the pressure that was on my left arm there, I'm trying to do anything I can to really kind of wiggle my way out of there. There ain't no wiggling out of that.
Well, just the position he has you in, bending over so much, keeping that weight and that leverage on top of you.
The oxygen was nowhere to be found there, brother.
There was no way for you to perhaps spin your hips to get underneath and spin out of that.
Same left shoulder there, man. I still have shoulder problems because of this match right here. I still have shoulder problems in my left arm.
That big uppercut blow there. I mean, yeah, and looking like he's trying to dislocate the elbow or take part of your arm with him back to the locker room. But you're still hanging in this.
That belongs to me, Aaron, and you can't have it.
No, I usually like to take those with me wherever I go, but
yeah, me too.
but you're showing that you're more than up to the challenge. You come up with the arm wringer, and now you're the one back in control after
arm drag right there.
Nice takedown there, using your leverage. Quickly dropping down like that. I'm sure that caught Blade off guard. You're keeping the pace up here. Again, hauling off with a big shot to the sternum. And this is why he's making Blade run, making him use more wind. Had him off balance there when you connected with that shoulder block.
That shoulder was nowhere near as devastating as I wanted it to be.
I could see
he'd been working on it the entire night.
Yeah, that you did favor it after you connected.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure that was out of instinct. And speaking of instinct, Blade reaches out to get the grasp at the bottom rope, forcing the break. It could have been the end of the match right there, but we
got any water around here? I'm starting to get a little parched.
Well, we'll see what we can if we can get the producers over here to help us out in just a second. But you're keeping up the pressure, trying to put away the man here. See you whip him across. Oh, the big shoulder.
What happened?
Hey, we lost the video. Can somebody hear me back? We lost it. It's all right. We'll get somebody out. We'll get this fixed. We can do it again. I mean, it happens sometime.
You lose your video? You lose your shot there? Having a problem? You two guys coming out here trying to embarrass me? Wait, trying to embarrass me from a show what? That you didn't even win a match off of? Come on now. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Aaron, you all right? Aaron.
Grab that video camera. You ain't nothing, boy. This is what he's getting. This is what he's getting. That's the kind of stuff you get. When you mess with Bryan Blade, you get the rough stuff. He ain't never coming back from this. Come here, boy. Come here. You ain't nothing, boy. Come on, let's go. Put that camera down. Let's get out of here. Wasted too much time on this piece of crap anyway.
For more wrestling excitement from PWA, subscribe to this channel or click on the links for more great action.